you want to stay on the grass?
I'll just keep going. We'll try and stop before time runs out. I'll be reading a story today for kids called The Greedy Tree. Once there was a tree who loved to fuck with a little boy. He would come and gather leaves and make a crown and play at king of the forest. And due to the leaves' hallucinogenic properties, he would trip so hard that he tried to eat his own clothes. Then he would swing from her branches and shout joyously. And when he was almost flying high enough to touch the clouds, the tree would shake him off to teach him a lesson. 3 emergency room trips later, the boy wasn't particularly bright after landing on his head the first time. The tree would play hide and seek with the boy, who began to have nightmares about the tree, which caused him to wet the bed, but he had no other friends and was often tied to a stake in the front yard for hours at a time, and on whole weekends, whenever Yonder Mountain String Band was touring in that part of the country. Once the boy had a kite, but the tree got jealous and swallowed it up in her freakish, prehensile foliage. Sometimes the boy would eat the bitter black fruits that the tree told him were apples and regress to a primal state that made the caveman from Altered States look like Jeremy Irons until he passed out in the shade atop the compost heap with 7 apple cores stuffed in his ass. He would try to crawl off behind a rock to be sick, but the tree would grab him by the ankles and dangle him while lecturing him about moral objectivism and tort reform. And the tree would laugh her leaves off. And she thought she was happy. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
But the boy grew older and went away to chase girls. And then one day he came back. And the tree said, "It's about time, apple ass. We got a lot of accounts to settle, you and me." The boy was confused, and not just because he was flunking math. "I thought we were friends, tree. The other kids call me Chicken Wing because my arm never healed right after I broke it the last time I climbed you. But I figured they might like me if I could get them wasted off your apples." Holy fucking shit! Did you think those apples were free? Your hippie parents really did a number on you, kid. And the tree explained how goods and services were manufactured and paid for, how credit was extended and how interest was compounded, and then detailed how much the boy owed the tree for goods and services and child care rendered. The boy was stunned to discover his idyllic childhood companion was soaking him for close to $9,000. But I don't have any money, or I just buy some beer. The tree ordered the boy to climb her and gather her apples. And the boy went away to sell them to his peer group. And the boy went away for 3 to 5 years. And the sheriff's department had a chain gang cut off and burn all of her fruit-bearing branches. But the tree had the boy's cash roll in a coffee can buried among her roots, and she was very happy. 5. And then the boy came back, and he was older and sadder, and he had herpes from being raped by his cellmate. And the tree said, "Come, boy, swing from my branches, and play, and be happy." But the boy wasn't dumb enough to fall for that shit again. "I'm too busy hiding from my parole officer to play," the boy said. "I need a place to live and a cure for herpes." "You don't have a cure for herpes, do you?" "Dream on," said the tree. And the forest is my home, hippie, so don't think of pitching a tent out here. I've been meaning to ask you, said the boy, looking around. What happened to my parents' house? The tree didn't tell him how its roots undermined the foundation and bored into the plumbing of their little cabin, leaving the city no choice but to condemn the house and evict them. I heard they moved to a commune upstate, but I hear it's really a cult, and the leader bangs all the women, including your mom, even though his heart's not really in it. 6.
That was
Right. Yeah. The boy said, I need a home to live in. Maybe I could salvage timber from the cabin and build a tree house in your branches, and we could be together. Fuck that noise, said the tree. You've been to school and jail, and you still don't understand the value of $1. Cut down all these other trees that are crowding my watershed and sell their lumber. I'm sick of hearing those soft-witted bitches singing about love and generosity anyway. The boy didn't want to do it, but the tree was very persuasive. I heard the others talking. We have powers, you know. Look what happened to Sonny Bono and that other Kennedy. We could fuck your whole species up overnight, like in that M. Night Shyamalan movie. The tree refused to elaborate, so the boy had no choice but to go see the happening. The boy came back blubbering, please don't let them make everybody feed themselves to lions. The tree laughed her upper limbs off. Sweet Jesus, but humans were gullible. That's a Sonny Bono wig, dude. Illustration to 7. The boy chopped down all the other trees and was in the process of cutting them into saleable lumber when the sheriff arrived. The boy ran away, and this time he somehow escaped the law, though he remained a homeless fugitive for many long, lonely years, which made the tree happy whenever it chanced to recollect the boy, because it couldn't be bothered to dwell upon all of its wheelings and dealings. She was a full-grown tree, for fuck's sake. Nice job. 8. And then one day, the boy returned, much older and sadder, and badly disfigured from black market plastic surgery gone wrong. Come, boy, climb my trunk and sit on the one branch those convicts left on me, and maybe hang yourself. No, said the boy, I'm almost an old man, and I've never had any fun. Please, don't you have any more of those apples? Or I could borrow some cash. Borrow? Fun? Life is not fun, boy. It's work and pain and degradation and death if you're lucky enough to live that long. If you don't have the guts to take what you want and keep it, then you don't deserve to survive. Take it from a tree, if you can. You wouldn't last a week as a tree, but you and I have been through a lot, so I'll give you a tip. The tree told the boy about a rich man who lived nearby who had a lot of money and a grudge against trees. In fact, the man had recently bought the land on which the tree sat and was planning to turning it into a water park for his grandchildren. Oh, wait, what are you going to do?
That's okay, I don't have it.
By now, the boy knew where this was going, but he didn't have a belt or a shoelace with which to try the tree's other suggestion. So he broke a branch of the tree and whittled a shiv with it and went away. The tree thought she'd gotten rid of the boy for good, and she was happy again. But the boy came back the next night with dogs and flashlights hot on his tail. I only did what you told me to do. I thought we were friends. The hell you did. Don't try to pin this on me, asshole. I'm just a fucking tree. You've obviously developed a malignant split personality, which you project on me to escape responsibility for every stupid thing you've done to wreck your own life. Take responsibility for yourself for once, boy. I'm just a figment of your warped, postmodern, hippie, man-child mind. Nice. But just then, the sheriff's posse burst in and they screamed, "Holy shit, a talking fucking tree!" And they shot at it for a solid half hour. And then a sudden cloudburst split the night sky, and a bolt of lightning struck the tree and shattered it, leaving only a blackened stump. Some might ascribe this to a hand of divine justice, but the lightning was really a product of sheer chance and elementary physical principles, since it was attracted to the old ragged kite wrapped around its last remaining branch. Great. The boy managed to slink away amid the chaos, but he couldn't slip out of the county through the dragnet, and so he crept back to the scene of his crimes to hug his only friend one last time. The tree shook with excitement as the boy, now a ruin of a man aged well before his time, crept up to the stump. She longed to drop a branch on his head or to drag him under the earth and throttle him with her roots for all the wrong she felt he'd done to her, but she was powerless to do anything but bear his weight as he sank down onto her charcoal surface. "I don't have any friends to sell your apples to, and I'm too beat up to swing from your branches, and I'm too old to climb your trunk. Lucky for you, I don't have any of those things anymore, you senile fucking idiot. You know where I went wrong. I spoiled you. I gave you everything and never really held your feet to the fire." The tree nagged the boy long into the night, and soon she finally gave him a gift. It was the courage to blow his brains out. And the tree soaked up the boy's bodily fluids and was ecstatic. And the search party, who found the dead boy, were moved to bury him under the stump of the tree instead of going through all the hassle of reporting the corpse. And in the course of digging his grave, they found the coffee can with the boy's apple money in it. And a couple of them were moved by a foreign spirit of love and generosity to buy something nice for their wives. But the rest of them just spent it on chewing tobacco and extra flashlight batteries. The end. Take it out, man. Nick Gucker, everybody! Wow, that was perfect. Nice work.